All right. All right. Looks like they started bidding before 3. Crimea Mechanical's up by 20. We've got Rusviet Engineering at 10. No one's bid on Togawa Industrial yet. Let's go ahead and blast out to the group that we're streaming it live.
All right. So, did you start the stream yet, or?
I did.
Okay, cool.
So let's get the kind of scrambling here because they started before 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So someone bumped Joy off. Paju bumped Joy off for Crimea Mechanical. I think that bid is kind of high with Rusviet Engineering on the board. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Joy is actually probably going for engineering here. I think like I played against him as Rusviet Engineering recently, and he seemed to really have it nailed. Um, it doesn't score very many points though. Like, yeah. I think Joy likes that bid.
Yeah, I feel like Crimea Mechanical's high here. I mean, Crimea Militant has been kicking butt this tournament. No question about that. But this is not Crimea Militant.
Yeah, it's if mechanicals, if Crimea is tricky about it, they might. I don't know. They might be able to get the game to go longer. I guess it depends on how Togawa Industrial plays, if they give combats or not.
Let's see. Already got Joy on the buddy list here, so we'll just hang out until we're ready to spectate. So, I mean, I've seen some games reported in Discord. I tend to rush Crimea Mechanical, but I've seen you play some games in the Discord where you scored over 100 points.
Yeah,
And I mean, 17 to 19 rounds, which is not the fastest Crimea Mechanical can go, but gosh, that's an effective stall game. So what's the secret to pulling that off? And because I think that you're going to have to see that out of this Crimea Mechanical to cover that bid. I mean,
I agree. I think it's probably like that strategy is it's focused on building, and there's a couple reasons why you do that. It helps get tier two. You get building bonus, but you're also spreading a lot because you're moving a lot. So it gives you a lot of control over the middle of the board, I guess. Typically, you're sitting with either just one or two mechs. Um, so no combat ability, but um, I'm not sure if that'll work with Rusviet Engineering because he can just send all of the workers home. I feel like he's just going to be able to just keep moving every turn, and
right.
take away all those points. So I don't know. This is going to be a tough one for Crimea, I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, Rusviet Engineering is going to put up probably 50 points by uh,
Right.
by round 14. So Crimea Mechanical is going to have to outpace it by 10 to keep it from ending because Togawa Industrial is going to have mechs on the board. They're going to probably have low power unless they really focus on upgrades. And you would think, even with trap tokens, that Rusviet's going to be able to get combats off of Togawa, even if Crimea tries to deny them. What do
Yeah,
you?
really, I think like a lot of the game matters on how Togawa plays or how fast it's going to go.
Looks like they're waiting for the third person to join the tournament game so they can get it going.
I'm happy my game had 4 people.
All
I
right.
feel like the dynamic changes a lot with only 3.
Avid says they need to avoid getting caught between Crimea and Rusviet talking about Togawa. Togawa's got to play a fast game, and they've got to hit their... I mean, I don't like Togawa in this game just because to keep the game from ending, they're going to have to hit 40 or 50 points by round 13 or 14, keep Rusviet from ending it. And like you said, Rusviet, I mean, if Rusviet just doesn't care about those traps and doesn't care about the workers, I mean, we could see a situation where the same thing you talked about for Crimea happens to Togawa, and Togawa gets stuck around 30 points, and one of the other two factions ends it easily.
Yeah. It's hard to get a lot of points as Togawa Industrial. Like, you can do that with other mats, but Industrial is, it's tricky because engineering can be fast out of the base. Mechanical is typically slow out of the base, so it's almost like no matter what you do, you're going to be running into somebody as Togawa.
See, None says Togawa Industrial doesn't have much coin. That's true, and $11 is cheap in my opinion, especially when it's Joy on it. Yeah, I agree. I think Rusviet's the bargain here. The scary thing for Rusviet is if this game goes over 15, 16 rounds. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure Crimea Mechanical really peaks until, what, 16, 17 rounds if they're trying to cover a bid like this?
It can be a 15 rounder.
Yes.
If you get like the right encounters. But
you can
yeah.
14 round it, but it's probably just about 15 coins.
Yeah, that's I feel like it's rare to get it that fast though.
None says Crimea Mechanical is going to get tunnel blocked. I think that's right.
Oh yeah. That's probably it.
Engineering's not going to have... I mean, if Mechanical comes out of the base just as soon as they get the Riverwalk mech, Rusviet can get to that tunnel, but they're going to have 1 or 2 power. I think the number one thing to look for early is, okay, I can spectate now, is does Rusviet manage to get food or an enlist off that first encounter?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're starting with Togawa. We haven't missed any turns.
Yeah, I think as Togawa, you maybe just try to make a beeline for the factory.
Yeah.
And you might be able to get there fast enough.
Industrial kind of needs... Okay, I'll turn up derp. Say something, derp.
Something.
All right, is that better, Avid? Do you feel like with Togawa Industrial, it's a little difficult to get that 6-star?
Yeah, typically I go for power because like you can get it from just engaging in a ton of combats with Ronin, but that's a very reckless way to play. It is typically pretty hard to get 6.
So Togawa's probably in a stall game here. Have to count on the size of the bids to keep this game going. And I think they could possibly stall Crimea at 21. I don't know about them stalling Rusviet at 11.
I don't know. They're gonna if they do that, they're gonna have to defend against Rusviet really well. Um, so yeah, that might work.
None doesn't think Togawa Industrial can stall. You might be right.
Yeah, it's definitely not its strength.
I feel like if they can get to 50 points. Having trouble with my camera there. I feel like if they can get to about 50 points, Rusviet Engineering might have a hard time ending the game.
Hmm.
But they have to do that pretty quickly.
If I'm Togawa here, I'm probably just moving and producing every turn, every other turn. You can get some mechs on the way to the factory when you do that.
Well, that's what they've done so far here.
Yeah.
Okay, Rusviet's done the double produce. Gawa's moved once, produced once. We see a standard mechanical start out of Crimea where they produce once and then trade for 2 food, presumably following up with another produce in their first enlist.
I think it seems a lot of people don't do this opening, but it's I think by far the strongest for Command Mechanical is it's what he's doing now, but after you produce an enlist, you trade for grain again and get a second enlist and 8 workers.
I see.
And then trade for metal and then do speed after that.
Isn't that
I
too...
think that's
Okay, then trade for metal and do speed.
I feel like I've had a lot of success with that one.
Doesn't that get you to 3 enlists in 1 mech though after you move?
Yes. Well,
None says
you
that's what he
move
does.
both of your workers to metal, I think.
Let's see, Togawa here got the $4
Oh, you got
mech.
to Okay, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Those mechs are one of your biggest source of coins.
Yeah, it's you think of it as a -6 point play because you normally would get 2 coins for the mech.
Rusviet going with what here? A speed mech? Yep. So Rusviet with that engineering board can basically move down to that tundra. If they're able to get food off the encounter, they can produce and upgrade 3 times, get their enlist to 2 and their mechs to 2, and then they can trade 3 times, right? For food, build a mech, trade for food, build a mech, trade for food, build a mech. And then they have all the food they need for their enlists and their mech star as well.
When I saw Joy do this last time, he moved to the grain tunnel, which was interesting.
Bear with me on the camera here, guys. I'm sorry. Togawa took the Shinobi mech. I would take the 2 pop for 1 enlist option here.
Yeah, it's definitely the best. He's not going to get tier 2. And as Joy told me the other day, popularity is just a thing you can spend to buy things.
Right. If it's a rush combo, that's definitely the case. Why my first enlist on Polania, I'll often take popularity just to have currency to spend on those encounters.
Right.
All right, he's going to take the enlist. You like the power enlist here?
I don't know. I was just thinking which one you should go.
The power enlist makes the... Oh, he's going to go coin.
That's the fear of the bid choice.
Yeah. The challenging part, although he has 5 power right now. Oh no, I'm sorry. He took the power off the yeah, he took the power off the enlist
Oh right, yeah, but he went for deploy.
as the enlist. Gawa moving off metal, spreading out a little bit.
If he traps that tunnel, it's actually going to be a pain for Joy, I think.
What trap would you put there?
Uh, I think that's a good question, actually.
I feel like the 4
Probably,
coins makes it Rusviet struggle to make their bid, but the 2 combat cards with Rusviet's enlists often coming late could be devastating.
yeah, I would probably do combat cards for the immediate defense.
None says the coin one or the pop one.
I don't think
I
the
don't
coin
see
one
the
helps Togawa. It just hurts somebody else. You know,
yeah.
it's like, yeah, I don't know. You don't really know who you want that trap to hit that trap at this point.
So far we see that strategy from Joy. He produced and upgraded his enlist. So next turn we could see another produce upgrade, or we could see a trade for food and a deploy.
Yeah, that's true. None. They might not. Yeah, they're probably not going to be aggressive.
Checking on the score. I'm sure Togawa's probably up at this point, but no, they're close. Crimea's up to 14. Whenever you see all the scores below 20, you know it's really early. It's round 6.
Yeah, Joey, I would say that I feel like I've seen the coin trap on the factory a lot recently. It's typically a good move.
It's a good move if everybody's rushing the game, I think. I think in higher tier games, that pop trap is a popular choice, right? That's one of the differences I noticed kind of coming over to TTS for a while, is that the TTS players seem to really like the pop trap on the factory, whereas the digital edition
Yeah,
players love that coin trap on the factory because oftentimes no one cares about pop anyway.
yeah, that trend has definitely changed. It was like always pop on the factory, but that's like never happens anymore. It's interesting how the game's evolved.
Crimea about to get their first mech out. Bolster into deploy.
You know, if Tagawa was going for it, he could have stolen Crimea's encounter.
True.
Interesting. That might have been the play.
With Crimea, the size of Crimea's bid, though, does that help Togawa? Isn't Togawa more worried about Rusviet in this game?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think you want to trap that factory before Rusviet comes out. Let's see right now, Togawa sitting at only 3 coins. Rusviet and Crimea both around 10. Pretty significant. I'm not sure Togawa can territory their way out of this.
Rusviet's got to be careful here because if Tagawa keeps laying these wall of traps, it's actually going to be hard for Rusviet to get to Crimea to slow
Yeah.
them down.
Yeah, those Togawa can be a little bit of a Rusviet nerf because they can trap potentially Rusviet's 2 most efficient exit points, which is
Right.
the village tunnel and the factory. Of course, with engineering being fairly low power, that combat card trap and that power trap can really hurt Rusviet engineering. And says, what is happening? Yeah, I'm not sure what Togawa's doing. They did not lay a trap, which is probably okay. They're going to get to move again before anyone can reach them. Rusviet has... Okay, Rusviet hasn't upgraded... No, wait. Rusviet's only upgraded their metal once, which is why they're sitting on 1 metal and 2 food. Maybe a hop for encounter underworld. Yeah, Nun's right. You can't, you don't actually control territory with traps. They just count for in-game scoring.
So here's a question: if you're Rusviet, do you just take the hit and trigger the trap on the tunnel there?
Yeah, I think I would have waited to trade for food until I had 1 more upgrade on the mech and deployed a mech with that, although he does have a mech. I'm not really sure how he did it. Guess he traded for 2 food and he had to do an extra produce, I guess. Get that mech. But yes, I think you move out to that village and you spring the trap and you produce up to 8 workers. And I mean, you've got 3 power, you've got 2 cards. You're going to have more cards. Crimea is sitting on 2 enlists. They'll probably do 2 more. I don't know. That's going to hurt. With Togawa not trapping the factory, I think maybe you leave that trap alone.
Right. He can maybe just exit through the factory then.
Who
Well,
would
he's
in
got
1 pop?
that's pretty bad. I'm
Pretty
sure
rare
Joy
to
doesn't
see
know
that
how.
3 popularity option not taken for somebody. But he has no chance at tier 2.
I think the only reason you would take the pop is to maybe spend it with factory cards or more encounters.
I could see that.
But still, it's like -2 points from an encounter. It's not great.
Yeah. For me, going for upgrades here. Sitting on 4 oil.
He might be able to get a power star with those upgrades instead of finishing either. It's probably not going to finish. Maybe his deploy star. If he
Did you
wanted to go faster, he could do that. I think.
did you see how he got to 4 oil without doing an
Oh, it was
upgrade?
the encounter. It was
Okay. So Rusviet has 2 enlists. He's going to produce once for the worker star and 2 of the remaining 4 food that he needs. And he has enough metal to trade his way to 1 mech. But how does he get the last enlist in the last mech here?
Yeah, that's the question.
I'm sure he has a plan.
I think he was hoping to get something from that encounter, but didn't happen.
I mean, he can always trade for the 2 food. But it's going to take 2 trades to get to the... I mean, he can move back to the oil. He has a move to use anyway because of the... he needs it for the enlist. We could move back to oil, produce his last 2 food, and upgrade his mech, letting him just trade for the last mech or last 2 mechs. Gawa running.
Run away.
jumping up here on the oil tundra.
It's pretty
Evidently,
safe for now if he's not on a tunnel, but
he's not prioritizing the factory.
yeah, he could be at the factory right now,
Yes.
which would be a big pain for Joy. So Joy's probably happy that isn't the case.
He's got some moves left down here. You take the 4 wood, you can build a building immediately. I'm not sure how much that helps you. You're only at 2 popularity. And you don't seem to be enlisting, so does the 2 pop help you? But he's going to take it. Checking on the score. Togawa trailing, Crimea not covering the bid, Rusviet not covering the bid. But I don't think you want it to be at 12 coins in round 10 if you're Togawa. You've got almost maximum spread here. I mean, I guess you can move off your traps, but you're pretty spread out. You don't have much of an economy right now, and you don't have a factory card.
Yeah, so Crimea is just off getting the Power Star with 2 bolster deploys.
Yeah, the key for that mechanical board with Crimea is to go for the power enlist as your second enlist instead of coin. That gives you, when you upgrade the bolster, that gives you that 1 extra power you need to hit the Power Star.
And Rusviet with the foundations of free win.
Sitting at 2 stars now, Worker Star, Objective Star. Gawa at 6 workers. Next produce does give the Worker Star. I missed it somewhere along the line, but they upgraded their deploy, so they were able to get a mech just then. Interesting second choice in Suton. Gawa may be planning to deny combats from Rusviet by hiding on lakes, grabbing some extra territory.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Rusviet tries to block in Crimea right here. It's round 11. They haven't moved out of the base. I feel like that's the one weakness of mechanical.
Engineering. Oh, you're talking about Crimea. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you said Rusviet. Yeah, you could block that tunnel. You're sitting on 2 power. Crimea
Yeah,
has
sure.
11. Their popularity gets wiped though if they attack you. And they're at 8 workers. So maybe that's the play. Gawa only has 1 power, probably can't threaten you. You do have township. You can move to the... There it is. You called it derp.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow, he's doing fancy stuff.
Yes,
The
none. We all
worker
called it, but derp called that it would be this turn. So I'm giving him credit for that.
Joy
lot of
doing the
resources.
classic worker whip move. A la Albion.
Only he used it to move. Well, Albion can do that too, yeah, any number of spaces. We got the character up at the top left of the board for Togawa. Everything else down here. Rusviet right now in a commanding lead. By being on only 3 territories.
Yeah, focusing the conflict on Crimea's tunnel there is going to be really important. It'll just like box them in like crazy.
If Crimea is willing to give up the power star, they can actually attack Rusviet here, though. Rusviet has almost no power. They don't have People's Army. And if you're Crimea, you can give up 1 pop because you only have 1 more produce left. You're at 3 enlists.
Yeah, Crimea's going to want Scout, though, because they're only at 3 cards. And Rusviet can counterattack hard with all the stuff on their village over there. It can teleport to the village and straight to the tunnel. So
that's a good point. Avid, the Rus objective was Foundations of the Empire. So no trouble with that.
So this double attack is a bit of a feign because Crimea doesn't want to spend their cards here. They don't want to spend 2 because they're not going to have 2 to defend with.
They could win this with straight power by throwing 7, or Rusviet does not have produces left, one would not think. So to secure this, you need to throw 7. Crimea taking a little bit of a risk here, and it pays off.
Yeah.
In a big way. But
still.
Oh, and they get Wolf Among the Sheep in the same go. That was a great turn for Crimea. I wonder about leaving only 1 worker on the farm, though. You do have enough food to produce and spend a card to get your last enlist.
There it is. There's People's Army.
But you have 2 cards. If he had left a worker on the farm, he could have saved himself a card in his last produce into enlist.
I really like this little village teleportation setup Joy has got. He could even riverwalk. Yeah, he can just riverwalk to his farm too and send all the stuff home if he wants.
Yeah. That would slow down Crimea significantly. He'd have to take back the farm or trade for food to get his last enlist.
I think this game has 2 turns left. I think Joy's going to end it in 2.
With Togawa only at 13, there's not a whole lot of difficulty in that. That would be what, 14, 15 turns? Togawa moving over to that farm tunnel, giving himself as a target with no trap token underneath him.
Actually, if Crimea deploys Scout on the tunnel, that's going to be really, really hard for Rusviet to win.
Togawa kicking himself for not going toward the factory. Yeah, I think so. I think, I mean, Scout's coming on the Tundra.
Yeah.
Certainly. Rusviet is sitting on 6 cards. 3 enlists. You can't get to Togawa twice, though. You can hit...
I mean,
you have the upgraded moves, so you can hit Crimea twice 2v2. But Crimea is going to be able to spend 2 cards in each fight. because of Scout. All right, none. Yes, Russ can end if he wins 2 combats this turn, but oh, I guess he goes. If he's got good cards, he could hit Togawa, pay 5. Then he could hit. He has 3 5s. He can end it, right? And Crimea doesn't take any of them.
Right.
That's
I feel like
regardless. That's regardless of what Crimea has. You were gonna say?
I don't know if like Crimea's cards. I don't think they've actually cycled through very many. So I think there's a chance that they don't actually have that great of cards.
You try to end this turn, it better work though. If it doesn't, you've spent everything, and you're in a bit of a bad way.
I think maybe the best play is to just position yourself for a good counterattack. Just spread it out over 2 turns is Rusviet. I feel like it's probably safer. Just move your stuff from that village, spread out a little bit. Maybe block his path to the factory.
You can 1v1 Togawa, and I guess he can hit Crimea with 3. With Township here in People's Army.
Right.
That might do it.
It might be worth a risk. I don't know.
It's not 2v2 and 2v1, it's 3v2 and 2v1. So if he's got 2 cards, I think he can do it. Be a short game. We started streaming at 3. They weren't done with the bidding yet. He's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Just going to block Crimea from the factory.
Crimea does not have an upgraded move yet, which is really important. I wonder if he meant to leave a worker on that village.
I think he's going to block Crimea from attacking with 2 units at the factory, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, Crimea 1 off from the Power Star. Those are not bad cards. I forgot Rusviet hasn't even been to the factory yet.
Oh wow,
Oh, that's an amazing card from him right now.
um hmm.
Rusviet in a commanding lead. Yeah, at this point I don't know how Crimea makes their bid. Rusviet, despite being on engineering, is on parity with mechanical Crimea as far as coins go. And they have Crimea pretty locked in. It's going to take multiple moves to even challenge Russ on the factory. And like you said, unless they do another upgrade, they have to go 3 units against, or 2 units against 3. Now, if Crimea does do the upgrade, they will hit the Power Star, right? Because they'll get the 1 power right now, which gets them at 14. Boost drops them back to 13, and their last deploy hits the it's 16. But I'm not sure this game is going that long.
Yeah, if he had 1 more medal, he could bolster deploy for power and next star.
Crimea doesn't want to get to 5 stars. Russ can suicide for the win. That's a good point.
That's true. Yep. I always forget about that.
We see the upgrade on the deploy. Yeah, because you've played a lot of Digital Edition, but your background's primarily TTS, right? Tabletop Simulator.
Yep.
And
Yep.
people don't really suicide much in that because it's hard to know the score that precisely, right?
Yeah, it definitely knowing the score changes the game a lot. It just makes people a lot more aware of like the end game condition. Um, yeah, I think. Do you think Rusviet can just win that fight on the tunnel with 4 right now?
Well, he didn't leave one on the village. So can he hit him with 4? I guess he can, leaving a
Yeah,
worker on the
he could
factory.
spread. Yeah, he could move his mech on the grain tunnel. Just place the worker on the village on the way
So
over.
Crimea can throw 17, and Rusviet can throw 4 combat cards. So that requires his 5s, his 5 combat, 4 of his 5 combat cards to add up to 14. It's what, 2 4s and 2 3s or better?
Well, yeah, I think the main thing here is Scout is stealing one, and then he has to spend all the other 4 of them. So there's probably some risk involved, even if he has good combat cards.
He may be doing the math right now on whether he wins the fight using his 4 worst combat cards right now.
Alternative play is you just wait and factory card spread a little more.
Yeah. So if you're going to attack, you bring... Okay. Going to grab an encounter here.
Interesting. Just doing a little switcheroo.
Grab an encounter. What do you think he's hoping to get from an encounter right here?
I'm not sure. I feel like a factory card might have just been more reliable. Maybe he can. Oh, no way, dude! He has my encounter left right now. I bless you. I bless you, Joy.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
Game over. Right? I mean, what is...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. None says that's what you're hoping to get.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly
good.
that.
Right, None. We all see that now. All right, so Gawa going for an encounter. Putting himself in range of Rusviet. Yep. You're right, None. That's game. Rusviet factory cards to that village while spreading. And it's over. Really commanding performance by Rusviet. It's fun to watch Joy play because his play is really creative.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tactically, especially.
engineering Rusviet is thought to do about 13, 14 turns is about as fast as it gets. Togawa picking up 3 village territories, getting their encounter. But can you stop it if you're Crimea? You got to move to the Tundra Tunnel and guard Togawa, right?
If he had an upgraded move, maybe.
You could take
But
both mechs with you.
I feel like Crimea's best play is just to go for second here and attack Togawa twice.
You're up by 12. Togawa's going to lose 1 territory, putting you to 14. So you've got to make up 7 points. Picking off 2 territories, assuming that's not a coin trap.
Yeah, Russ can definitely win on that tunnel now.
Yeah, without the upgraded move. Wait, Crimea has an upgraded move.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah, that's right. They upgraded. I forgot. Oh, that's interesting. I still don't think they could
No,
beat
Rusviet brings
Rusviet.
4. Crimea just has 2, well, 2 combat cards plus Scout. So if Crimea has amazing cards and they steal a good one from Rusviet, it might be close, right? But I mean, Rusviet can attack Togawa in 2 places and you can't block both.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely hitting that village without the trap, and then
You can drop another worker on one of these 3 tunnels up top. Maybe drop a worker on that Tundra tunnel. I don't think you do that though, because if you drop a worker on that Tundra tunnel, Russ hits you instead of Togawa. Just up over Togawa by 14. Star will
yeah, I'm
make
not
it
sure.
17.
Yeah,
Flipping the territory makes it 21.
there isn't much of a point to attacking Togawa in the tunnel. You're right.
So if you flip the mountain trap over here and it's not a coin trap, I think you have enough to, yeah, I think you have enough if you flip the trap. But the safer play might just be to spread the 2 territories, grab a tunnel, and then the territory behind it, like that mountain tunnel and that tundra spot. I think that puts you at enough after Russ clears Togawa off, presumably that top village. But that's what he's thinking about right now. Oh, they're waiting. Let's do that math again. Crimea up by 14. The star makes it 17. Assuming they win the fight against Togawa, that flips it. That's 21. I think that's enough even if Crimea doesn't move again, because they're going to win the tiebreaker on units. I think Crimea is doing that math right now. The one thing you don't want to do is put a worker or a mech where Rusviet can hit it, or at least not do both. Oh, he's going for the, I think he's going for the top left tundra. I called
Yeah,
that, didn't I, Derp?
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. The thing is, he can still send that worker home. It's like I don't know if there's any way he can really avoid.
Joy won't though, because when it comes to king making here, he's going to do the max points play, and the max points play is to factory card up to Togawa, I think. Wait, you said he can bump the worker. But if he bumps the worker, he has to attack Togawa on the village tunnel, right? Because he can't
Right.
reach that. Can't reach that tundra. So is there a trap that changes the game for Rusviet if he attacks that village up top?
No, I don't think so. I don't think any of them matter anymore.
Yeah. 4 coins isn't going to be enough.
What was his third move? Oh, just the worker to the village, I think. So when I play mechanical, I always leave the one worker on the village down there, just for that reason.
He didn't move one there. Still got 3 on the tundra, it looks like.
No.
Okay, factory action. He's going to go for the top village, I think.
None. Yeah, basically.
This is the let me introduce you to the Joy Division game. Three power trap, but it's not going to matter. Rusviet can play 2. He's already up without the star by more than enough to win.
Yep.
And that right there is game. All right.
It was really well played by Joy.
All right, let's this was a quick stream. We're looking at 47 minutes total. And we got in the second half of the bidding in the game. Dominant performance by Joy Division on Rusviet. Thanks for joining me, Derp.
Yep. Good
All
to
right.
be here.
Catch you guys later.